can actually participate in the conversation here and leave your comments. And when you leave them in the original post, I can actually see them here and respond to them in the live broadcast. But let me just double check and make sure that I did everything right here and that we have everything going on live and that everything is good. Let me just double check on that. There are always some things that kind of tend to change in BeLive, and now the new user interface in Facebook is live as well. So let's see what's going on here. I can see that. No, whoa, that's dangerous. Let me see. Okay, so not quite sure that it should go. I think it should go, but I'm not quite seeing it. I'm not seeing the broadcast just yet. Oh no, this is another post that I made earlier. Okay, let me see. What's going on? Why does that not work? If you guys can see me online, oh yeah, I am live. Looks like I'm live. Okay, then let's just jump in. Let me just double check here. Yes, I am live. I can see myself there. Okay, we're good. We're good to go. Sorry for the delay here, guys. All right, good. So let me share my screen. This is kind of like what we all woke up to this morning. Let me share the whole thing and hide myself. So there's a big post here on Reddit, and it says, major bug, Shopify Facebook native integration, ViewContent no longer firing. It says here that this has now been fixed, but so far I haven't been able to confirm that yet. There's also, in the AdLeaks Platinum group and other Facebook groups, there are several articles going on here, how to fix it and what else is going on. So apparently the symptom is a little bit further explained over here in the chat, in the discussions here. The symptom seems to be that, just simply the view content event on product pages in Shopify doesn't fire properly or doesn't fire at all. And so that has led to some advertisers having seen drops in their ad performance and things like that. And apparently they've been going back and forth here on whether or not that's even a problem. And the issue with that is that apparently the problem was tied to so yeah, 50 minutes ago it says it's fixed, but the problem is tied to a script that is saved in their content distribution network, and that means it's cached. And that means both the problem when it first occurred or while it was occurring wasn't necessarily visible for everyone at the same time. And probably that is also true for the solution as well. Probably the solution doesn't just instantly snap in for everyone either. All right. Now, I'm the first person to say, hey, things like that happen. But of course, from a big company like Shopify, you guys and we too usually expect a little bit more at least faster response, right? Let me just say that when something like this happens. So it seems like here there was 8 hours ago. So the time that it took here from this post to come, which is of course typically not the first thing that happens, is that someone makes a post like this. So it must have been already a problem for at least a little while before this timestamp here, 8 hours ago. And then it took them, just so down here, 1 hour ago, my campaigns have significantly dipped in the past 2 days. So apparently this was a longer ongoing issue. It's important to note this bug was recently published. If you're still on a cached version of Shopify's Trackify library, your ViewContent events will still fire, which is why you don't see it go from 100% tracking to 0%, since there are a ton of cached users out there. So those are some of the things that can happen, obviously, with the tracking scripts. And the same similar thing might also happen, with the users now, if they're not able to purge their cached library from all caches, edge caches and browser caches, all at the same time. So this can be potentially an ongoing problem. And so there are also always still questions about the new integration of the basic integration that used to be in Shopify, where you just paste the pixel into the store settings, and now it's no longer there, and instead it's now in the Facebook app. So you now have to have a Facebook app installed, and that Facebook app installs itself here as a Facebook sales channel. And this whole area here, where the Facebook pixel used to be just simply a field to paste your pixel ID into, just similar to how the Google Analytics field works here, is now completely removed and just replaced by this rather complex setup of getting your Facebook pixel into this. And maybe I should, at this point, also say another word about that integration, because I've talked about that before, and we actually have a help article now in the Trackify help area, and it shows you right here with screenshots, with a guided screenshot sequence, how to go about removing the Facebook pixel if you have this Facebook app and sales channels installed, and if your Facebook pixel is connected to that. Because if you want to be a little bit more flexible and use another pixel, secondary backup pixel, or if you want to segment your data out into different niche pixels or tag pixels, and if you want to use Trackify for that, in any case, you need to remove the Facebook pixel from Shopify. And so now that it's a little bit more complicated to set it up, it's also set up the Facebook pixel integration in Shopify. In the native integration, it's also a little bit more complicated to remove it. But this screenshot sequence here shows you exactly how to do that. So basically, you click through this into the Facebook app, you click onto marketing settings, and then in marketing settings here is your ad account and your pixel, and then you simply just disconnect the pixel, and you don't let them scare you by this alarmist pop-up that says, warning, by disconnecting your pixel tracking, any active Facebook campaigns will stop working. Well, here you just read over something that's actually very important. Not all your active Facebook campaigns will stop working, but only any active Facebook campaigns that have been set up with the Facebook marketing app, which is now an integrated component of this Facebook sales channel. Right? So if you click into this here, you get to this kind of welcome screen in Shopify, and then you can see here that in this overview page, you have, where is it? I moved it around again. They did move it around again. So all this stuff here, Facebook marketing. So here we go. So it's just different layout. Okay, so there are basically these three functions here to this. You can set up your Facebook shop as a Facebook shop on a page on Facebook. You can sell directly on Instagram through Instagram shopping. And you can do Facebook marketing, which is basically managing ads through this app. And you hook up a single ad account and a single pixel in a single business manager to that. And it's very kind of tightly restricted and narrow. So few people that I know that we come across actually want to use at least this piece of the app, and so that's why you have these instructions here to just simply remove the pixel from the app, and then that means you can't use this ad creation tool here, but you can still use the two sales channels that come here with the app, which is Facebook Shop Sales Channel and Instagram Shopping. All right, so that's how that part works. So If you don't want to use these sales channels, if you don't want to set them up, then you can also just simply completely remove this app and delete it here from your apps page. If you simply delete it, the pixel also gets removed from Shopify, and then you're good to go. So those are kind of your options, and that's the purpose of this thing. Let me double check if you guys have any questions. Let me see where my Be Live video go. Hey, Colton. Okay, awesome. So it's Colton says my ViewContent event just started tracking. Well, that's good news. I was actually never able to verify that it was missing in any of the shops that I checked where I tried out this basic Shopify integration of the Facebook pixel. So for me, it was never missing. But then again, I'm not following or running any ads to any shops that have just the standard basic Shopify pixel integration. Obviously all of our shops that we have to do with and that we manage are running on Trackify, because that helps us create better data. So let's talk a little bit more about the phenomenon of server-side pixel events. We are now fully rolled out with server-side purchase events on our third generation integration. That is a new integration model that we've evolved kind of actually literally across 3 stages. And so now the last stage is this. It assures that there's never any order missing from your Facebook pixel events. There's never any order duplicated in your Facebook pixel events. And it's just a really awesome feature. And we've just published live in the user interface a way to actually report specifically on the server-side pixel events. And I wanted to kind of show you that, but it's not that easy to show you this without showing you a whole bunch of sensitive and private data that I can't just simply do a screen share with. So bear with me for just 1 minute here, and I will take a screenshot of this report and then show you how this works. It's going to be a ridiculous screen share because, or screenshot, because literally almost everything in the screenshot is going to have to be blurted out, which is kind of lame, but hey, better this than nothing, I suppose. And can I somehow, I have to paste it here. So yeah, so that it looks like it's not going to work for the screen share. There's just, the whole screen is full of sensitive information. So basically I would just need to blur out everything. That kind of sucks. I was hoping that I could at least kind of cover it up with something. How can I do that? Let me just see. That looks promising. Now, if I can put something on top there. 2D shapes, let's try that. And I'm just gonna smash a shape like this on top. Oh. Well. Fill, now we need to do some fill, solid fill. That's nice. Let's see if we can do some opacity. Yeah. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. Okay, so this is a ridiculous way to share this screenshot. I'm absolutely aware of that, so bear with me. So what's going on here? This is our server-side analytics reporting, and it has its own menu. We have now split up the Pixel Engine menu. If you go into your Trackify dashboard, you'll see the Pixel Engine menu now has a sub-menu that's called SS API Stats. And when you click that, you get these reports here. So One of the reports is simply a full order list that is sorted by date or by order ID in a descending order. And that simply lets you look at, number one, okay, actually all my orders are here, but it delivers some additional value in addition to what you can actually see in Shopify by just simply looking at the Shopify stats, right? You could see it there too. But here you can actually see the products that are in there by ID, by product ID. And then you can click on the product ID and it takes you to the product in your Shopify admin. So you can actually check what that product is. Then it has the tags that are included in this particular order. And that comprises all tags of all products that are in there. And the same is true for collections. So all collections of all all products that are inside this order are in there as well. So these are some very good pieces of information there that are additional insight that are deeper than what you're seeing in Shopify directly. Then another report. So let's do away with this one. And I'll show you the next one. These reports take a little bit of time to get chucked up and evaluated. So let me see how this works. So then we have order summaries by tags, collections, and what else? By tags, collections, and products. And then we have a report by date. So this is also pretty cool because it lets you see how many order counts and what the order value was with a certain combination of tags, for example. And then you also have an order list by dates, and that simply gives you the count and the value by date, and then you can select the date range and kind of play around with this. So for now, those are the reports that we have in the server-side analytics stats. So as soon as you have activated your server-side analytics, or your server-side purchase events, I should say, in the Pixel Engine page, you will then see that the server-side analytics reports will populate and show you what's going on. All right, well, cool. So that's that. In general, we have now a very nice and stable scenario for all of Trackify. Whereas, oh, I was visible the whole time. That's okay. So we're really looking forward to Q4. Everybody is ramping up their traffic, and it's going to be awesome. This whole thing that in Facebook recently, like in the middle of August, there seems to be a lot of changes that have been breaking things for many users, and it's been kind of a cycle. It doesn't surprise me. It seems to me like almost every time, just in time, either right before Q4 or right at the beginning of Q4, there are a bunch of changes that Facebook introduces, and it seems to look like everybody's ads are always just going bananas, and everything is breaking. So I would recommend that you just kind of hang in there for the time being and keep pushing. It could be worse this year because it's an election year, and a ton of ad space is grabbed up by political ads and political parties, and of course that that amount of eyeballs that these advertisers are getting, and the amount of money that they have to pour into that, cannot be had for any of our e-commerce ads. So that is clearly a factor that probably will make ad spend more expensive. So the recommendations are, as always, niche in, hone in on your skills of engaging with your audiences. Do this with creatives, better creatives, better offers, test things up, and just kind of keep pushing, and hopefully everything is going to work out great. So the server-side events are an important tool on the way to that, because they do help you seeing more attributions in your Facebook ad accounts. And that's, after all, what matters, right? Because we always need to see where things come from, and as many attributions as possible, as many sales as possible can be attributed to ads. That gives you the data that you need to have your orientation. At the same time, it's always really important to make sure that your pixel backup is working properly. So you want to create a setup where your entire data that comes onto the Facebook pixel is also collected by at least one other master pixel. And that way, if Facebook should block you for one reason or another, and you don't have access to the primary pixel anymore, you still can build the audiences and even use the secondary pixel that has collected the same data as the first one for audience building and for ads optimization in another ad account. All right, cool. Well, there you go. This is the Facebook Live here, kind of out of a current urgent occasion that Shopify broke a thing. It had this major bug going. Let me see again on Reddit here if there are any new things, new comments, or any new insights came in here recently. Let me reload this one more time so I can view the entire discussion. Scrolling down here. Okay, so 1 hour ago, yeah, pretty much that's still the same. Okay, great. So it seems like it's fixed. Hopefully the fix will affect your pages quickly. And in any case, if you're using Trackify, you weren't affected by this issue, and you can just go on your merry ways and keep doing what you always did before. All right, great. Thanks a lot, guys. This is Thomas Bartke signing off. Thanks for watching this Facebook Live, and I'll see you soon.